Pour the roast, let's talk about the day. Laughing even if it goes astray.
Welcome to...
Well, I thought it was funny!
Good morning, folks. Time is 10:33 a.m. Mountain Standard Time on the 11th of March, 2026. And of course, that's the 12th for my time-traveling freaky friends down under. Those folks in Australia. Let's big hello to everybody around the world. Big hello to those folks in Australia, but a super gigantic hello to that city with the most group members worldwide, and that city being Melbourne, Australia. Folks, I hope you're all doing fantastic today. No matter where you're from, you don't have to be from down under. Anywhere around the world, I hope everybody's having a great day. My name is Lee, and I'm the guy that started this community of ours. You folks are you, and you folks are incredible. And how do I know these things? Well, if I was incredible, I wouldn't want to be anyone else. And how do I know you're incredible? Well, our community, well, I thought it was funny, was not incredible until you got here. It is incredible now. That math is easy to do. Thanks for being incredible, and thanks for making this community, well, I thought it was funny, incredible. Cheers to you, my friends. Well, I do hope, as I said, I do hope you're all doing well. It is Wednesday here, which is hump day. Of course, Thursday for our friends on the other side of the world there, those folks in Victoria and Melbourne and all those other places. What do you got planned and how's your week been? I'll tell you what's going on here. Well, first let me start off with apologizing for just a stub of a video on Monday. I felt like crap. I think I'm just suffering from the time change still, you know, that spring forward. It's kicked my butt. I'm feeling a little bit better today, of course, but I also had a really bad stomach, and my stomach's still bugging me a bit today. This is something I gotta deal with all the time because I've got this acid reflux issue that is caused by a hernia that I was born with called, I think it's called a hiatal hernia. No, I could get that wrong. A little too much information. You don't really need to know that, but that is why a lot of the times in the morning I'm feeling pretty rough because it causes me issues when I'm sleeping. It causes incredible congestion, and then some days I just feel like I'm dying. Feel good today, well, a lot better at least, and hope you're feeling good today too, friends. But so there's my apology for Monday. I hate doing that, but sometimes I have to do it. I could barely even talk that day. Let's see, and what have I been doing over the last couple days? On Sunday, my buddy Mitch brought me to a movie. That's right, he had bought 2 tickets, one for himself, one for his mom, to see the movie The Bride. Unfortunately, his mom was not feeling well, so he asked me if I wanted to tag along, and I did, and I really enjoyed the movie. Actually, it was a play. It is a play on The Bride of Frankenstein, a modern version of it. Very different from anything I've seen before when it comes to, well, pretty much any movie. But great direction and great cinematography. Storytelling was fantastic. The acting was great. I really enjoyed this. I think Jessie Buckley did a great job as the bride. Now, since I saw the movie, I did see an interview with her where she talks about making her fiance get rid of his cat. Well, I'll never watch anything from her again. It may seem small, but that's just inhumane. Absolutely inhumane. So it's too bad about that because she did a great job in this movie. Apparently she was great in Hamnet too. Now, let's not talk about that. Let's talk about the movie. Christian Bale portrayed Frankenstein's monster. It's probably the best portrayal since at least Robert De Niro in Mary Shelley's Frankenstein in the 90s. Not as good as Boris Karloff's, but right up there with Boris Karloff, just underneath there. Probably on par with Robert De Niro's portrayal of the monster back in the 90s. Very, very good. I really enjoyed it. And there is a neat little nod in this movie to Young Frankenstein. That's Mel Brooks and Gene Wilder film. Gene Wilder, of course, playing the young Frankenstein, Dr. Frankenstein in the movie. Fantastic little nod to it. Absolutely loved it. So I thought this movie was really good. Had a great time. Once again, Jessie Buckley opening her mouth about making her fiance get rid of his cats. Screw her. I'm not watching anything else from her. It's too bad. You know, I mean, there's shitty people in this world. So a little bit of a tangent there, but that's what I did on Sunday. Monday, of course, I skipped the video, just did a little bit of a stub of a video to tell you that, you know, I'm not feeling good. Sorry about that. And I just tried to get feeling better. And I felt horrible all day. Yesterday, we had our vents cleaned. Something you got to do every once in a while, and we had not done this for a very, very long time. Well, they did a great job. They came in. They said they'd be here between 8 and 12, 8 a.m. and 12 p.m. They got here right at 8 a.m. They were efficient. They did a fantastic job. Terrified our cats. Morrison and Thatcher were just scared crapless, folks. They were terrified. I felt so bad for them. It took hours before Thatcher would come out. Morrison kind of came out on his own a little later. Thatcher, I had to pick her up from behind the couch and put her on my lap, and then she kind of calmed down. But even then, she was a little sketchy. But she's good. They're both good now, but yeah, it scared them pretty bad. It was really noisy, right? Hadn't had that done for a long time. Forgot how noisy it was. But so they're fine. Our vents are clean. That's what I did yesterday. What am I doing today? Well, of course, I'm working on today's video. But after that, this evening, I will be working a hockey game. The Calgary Hitmen, that's our junior team here for the WHL, Western Hockey League. They will be hosting the Brandon Wheat Kings. And hopefully the Hitmen kick some butt today. Hitmen have been playing really well. They've made the playoffs. Playoffs haven't started yet in the WHL, but they have definitely made the playoffs. And hopefully they have a good playoff run. Just a strong team this year. And they started off pretty weak because they had a lot of changes last year. So we're looking forward to that. That's the Brandon Wheat Kings in town tonight at 7 p.m. at the Scotiabank Saddle Dome. Be there if you're in town. I'd love to see you there, folks. So that is what's happening with me. What's going on with you, my friends? I want to know about your lives. I do. Share a little bit. Come on. Well, number one, right now, please, I can't tell you what to do. I'm not the boss of you. Take a moment. Click the reaction button, whether it's the thumbs up button, whether it's the happy face emoji, the heart, whatever it might be, the laughing face, whatever platform you're on, please let me know that you're watching by clicking the reaction button right down there. I would absolutely love it. If you're on YouTube, please like and subscribe. That would be amazing. If you're on Facebook, just keep doing what you're doing, folks. You rock. I do want to hear about you, folks. Please, yes, click that little reaction button there. Mini-me is waiting now. Michelle Finnerty, one of our mods here, and somebody who takes some fantastic photos and shares some of the funniest stuff you'll ever see. She shared a photo this morning with us. She's got some flowers coming up. I believe they're daffodils, and it looks like one might be flipping her the bird. Check it out, folks, right now. Bring that up. Here's the main photo, and here's me zooming in on it. You see it? You see it? I see it. Cheeky flower. Thank you, Michelle. Appreciate that. Michelle takes some fantastic photos. She really does. And that's those are daffodils in her yard. That made me laugh pretty hard when I saw that. Appreciate that. And friends, what's happening in your lives? You know, my buddy Dan, he is one of our mods here also in our community. My buddy Dan Peterson was going to go to New York on Monday. That's right, had a big trip planned. He was heading with his buddy Adam, and they were going to watch some hockey when they were down there. NHL hockey, the Flames. Unfortunately, his buddy Adam ended up in the hospital on Sunday night, and they had to cancel the trip. So I want to say, really sorry to hear that, Dan. You know, your trips, I live vicariously through you when you go on these trips. And sorry you didn't make this one. Dan is currently out the money for the trip. Hopefully that gets straightened out, but that really sucks. The biggest thing is he doesn't get to go on this trip that they planned for a long time. Hope his buddy Adam is okay, though. Sometimes things happen beyond your, things screw up your plans, right? And there's nothing you can do about it. I really feel bad for you, Dan, and I feel bad for Adam. Hope you both get out there soon. A redo on this trip is definitely needed for you guys. What's happening, folks? What's happening in your life? Come on. Take a moment, drop a comment on the video. Just let me know what you're doing or how you're doing right now. That would be great. If you got some photos you want to share, why don't you include those in your comment? If you got some video you'd love to share, I would love you to share it. Send your videos to admin@wellithoughitwasfunny.com. You can also send your photos there too, folks. I want to know what makes you tick. I want to know a little bit about yourself. I want to make the funniest city on the internet, which we are, the friendliest city on the internet. Maybe we can do that by getting to know one another. Come on, folks. I dare you to leave a comment on today's video. Quick question for your friends. What's your favorite cereal that you ate as a child while watching cartoons, if you did either of them? My favorite cereal as a kid, I think, was probably Apple Jacks, and then followed by Fruit Loops, and maybe Frosted Flakes. Now, I gotta say, I didn't get a lot of sugary cereal as a kid, but when I did, those were my favorites. What was your favorite? If you ate cereal at all. And if you didn't eat cereal as a kid, what did you have as a breakfast? What was your favorite breakfast? I just want to know. Come on, take a moment, leave that comment on today's video, and don't forget, click that reaction button if you haven't already. Don't disappoint Minnie Lee, please. All right, have you left your comment? You have? Good. And I got some feature posts today. Like most of the days we do these videos, I do like to feature a couple of posts. Well, today I've got 3 of them. I've got one from Lance Webb. I've got one from myself, sorry. And then I've got one from Rob Lally. These 3 posts, well, the 2 posts made me laugh, and the one that I shared has made a bunch of you laugh. It's actually shot to the top of the group real quick. So let's just get into it. Let's share them. We're going to start off with Lance Webb's post right now. Now, you folks are members of this group. You know what it's like. Yeah, made me laugh. I don't need to describe these. I know that. You folks can read. But still, made me laugh, and that's why I shared it today. Thank you so very much, Lance. Next one is from me, folks. I'm sorry. But you know what? I shared it just a couple of days ago, and it has gone to the top. That's right. It's shot to the top of the post, my friends. So obviously, we've all decided we need to laugh instead of cry, right? Yeah, it's rough out there. But this made me laugh, and obviously it made you laugh, too. Next one is from Mr. Rob Lally. Wouldn't work for me because of my type of job, but yeah, absolutely. This is good morning. Thank you, Rob. Thank you, Lance. And I'm not going to thank myself because that'd be stupid, but you know who I am going to thank? I'll tell you. I'm going to thank you, folks. I'm going to thank you for making this community so successful. You know, we've got almost 1 million people here. We really do. We've got well over 900,000 members in this community of ours. More people than a lot of cities have population, right? That makes us, at least in my estimation, the funniest city on the internet. Population us. Funny people in the funny place making people laugh. Yep. I think with that, it might be time to get to those bad jokes. My landlord wanted to talk to me about my heating bill, and I said, well, of course, my door's always open. I often forget why I threw away my boomerang, and then it hits me. You know you've reached middle age when all you exercise is caution. I used to date a girl who loved to be covered in cheese. You might even say she was a real cracker. The fact that Mini Driver exists makes me believe that there must be a Maxi or a Mega Driver out there somewhere. I sure hope those made you laugh, friends, and I have some people to thank for today's jokes. I've got to thank Unpopular Opinions, also known as Aislins81 on YouTube for the first joke. Next 2 jokes, I gotta thank my buddy Dave Knapp. The 4th joke, I just heard somewhere. I don't know where it came from. If you know where it comes from, let me know. And the 5th and final joke, I kinda wrote. I think I wrote it at least. I was watching an episode of Hell's Kitchen. Mini Driver was one of the folks in the restaurant, and that just came to me. So that's where the jokes came from today, and you know I'd love to tell your jokes too. Why not send your jokes to jokes@wellithoughitwasfunny.com or leave them as a comment on today's video, and if I use your jokes, I'm going to thank you for your jokes. And you know, folks, I am here 4 days a week with these jokes for you. If you find them funny, if they're giving you a little bit of amusement and you'd like to say thank you, please consider dropping a couple of bucks in our tip jar. That's right, for less than the price of a good cup of coffee, you can help us keep the lights on here, keep the joke machine rolling, and keep that cow fed. Folks, any little bit's going to help, but I want you to remember, we are here for the funny and not the money.
Want to help us out and look good at the same time? Head over to store.wellithoughitwasfunny.com where we've got t-shirts, hoodies, 3/4 sleeve rock shirts. We got coffee cups. We've got to-go cups. We've got stickers. Check it out today, folks. That's store.wellithoughitwasfunny.com.
And speaking of the store, no, I'm not trying to beat a dead horse, folks. I am sorry. But I think I'm going to be adding some new designs to the store in the next few days. Hopefully I'll get that done. What we're going to do is we're going to take Dorothy there, and I'm going to put Dorothy on some of the cups and t-shirts wearing that Jester's cap for the bad joke videos. I think that'll look cool. Let me know what you think. And when I do have that done, of course, I will show it off in the video, the next video after I've got it done. And of course, I will order a shirt or a coffee cup or both for myself so you can see what it looks like. So that's something I'm going to be working on, going on to the end of this week, probably past that. That's about it, my friends. I do want to say thank you so very much, once again, for making us the funniest city on the internet. You know, when I started this group back on April 23rd of 2024, my idea was to create a group that was funny, that I found funny, that would make people laugh. You folks have made this place so successful, more than I ever expected. I mean, I was happy when we had 1,000 people. We are on the verge of 1 million people, folks, and that's because of you. That's because you've made this place. You've taken it from mildly amusing to being the funniest city on the internet, and cheers to you for that, friends. And cheers to you for making so many people laugh. You know, I say we have almost 1 million members, but we have over 1 million people coming here every day to find that funny, to find the thing that makes them laugh. You know, almost 1.5 million people on average, actually, every single day are coming here looking for something funny, and that's because you've made this place so funny. So cheers to you, and cheers to making so many people laugh. You make the world a little bit better when you make somebody laugh, and I think if you're watching the news, we need a lot more laughter in the world. So thanks for doing that. Thanks for making the world a little bit better, my friends. Now with that, I'm gonna be back again in a couple of days. So that'll be Friday mine time, Saturday for those folks down under in Melbourne. Hopefully you're going to be here too, my friends. Between now and then, I want one thing. I'm going to ask you one thing, and that is to keep laughing.
Well, I thought it was funny.
Well, I think it was funny.
Well, I thought 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 it was funny. Well, I thought it was funny.
Well, I thought it was funny.
Well, I thought it was funny.
Well, I thought it